If you're just joining us, I bought and remodeled this old house in central Utah and moved into it. This is my daughter's room, and she turned 20 years old this year. I've always planned on helping her buy a cheap fixer-upper house and remodel it like I did, but home prices in our area have skyrocketed over the past few years, combined with high interest rates and rising inflation, making the dream of home ownership almost impossible for first-time home buyers. So rather than crying about it, we decided to resort to Plan B, a bit of a house hack, you might say. When I remodeled the place, I built this nice little walk-in closet and a separate bathroom with this custom tile shower. So what we decided to do is cut a doorway right here that comes out right here into this storage area and add a kitchenette, small living room, and laundry. Hi everyone and welcome back. In the last video I pretty much wrapped up the trim work and got the shiplap installed on the TV wall. In this video we're going to get the place painted up all nice and pretty, but before we can get into that I need to putty and caulk all the trim work and shelving. As the saying goes, a little putty, a little caulk makes a carpenter what he's not. To fill the nail holes I'm using a putty knife and this DAP dry deck spackling. I really like this product. It goes on pink and dries white, so you know when it's ready to sand. I'm caulking all the seams with white interior paintable caulking. This just makes the finished paint job look so much better. It fills in all the gaps and makes everything look seamless. This spot where the shiplap met the drywall was tricky and a bit time consuming. I time-lapsed through it so as not to bore you. It turned out great. I'm pretty excited to get the paint on it and see how it looks. I caulked and puttied all the shelving in the closets also. I'll paint them all white to keep them nice and bright in there. When caulking the doorways, I like to run a bead on the seam where the casing meets the jamb and also where the casing meets the drywall. On a different note, we decided to get some grass planted in this little backyard area for the grandpuppies, so it has time to grow while we're finishing up the apartment. I pawned off the job of masking windows onto Kenna. She's getting pretty excited now that we can see the light at the end of the tunnel, so she got right after it. I wasn't around while Kenna was masking, but she got some great footage for the video. She has her own channel and I have it featured on my page. There's no videos on it yet, but I'm trying to get her going. Especially since I have some great grandpuppies now that would make some great content for her first video. Hey, Callie. So it looks like Kenna got the masking all done, and there's no grass growing yet. What the hey? I'm using this wall and wood primer first for the raw wood on the jambs and in the closets on the hook strip and shelving. I haven't used the old paint sprayer for a while, and the tip was clogged up right off the bat, but after that was remedied, it was rock and roll on the spraying. All right. At that point, we switched to the PVA primer that's made specifically for new drywall and got started by priming the patch where we closed in the old doorway into the main house. After masking off the hinges for the door, I used some masonry primer to prime these ugly green bricks. Just having it primed made it look so much better. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. I think it goes good with the shiplap wall. I still need to prime the drywall on the walls and ceiling in the new part, but the plan is to paint walls in this existing bedroom tomorrow. In order to do that, I need to get 2 coats of white paint on the jamb and casings of this doorway. I like to make a quick pass over all the primed wood with a fine grit sanding sponge before I spray the first coat of paint. It just makes for a nicer, smoother finished product. After rounding up all the supplies needed to cut and roll the walls, we got right into it. By we, I mean Kenna got started on the first coat, and I jumped in to help shortly after that. We decided on a Sherwin-Williams color called Agreeable Gray. We've used this color on some of our other past projects and really like it. After allowing the paint to dry the recommended dry time, we cut and rolled the second coat to finish up the bedroom walls. I've done a fair amount of painting and can cut a pretty straight line with a brush, but this frog tape's awesome. It leaves a near perfect line, and for me it seems to be a little faster also. What a transformation, right? What do you think of the color? Leave a comment, let me know. And Kenna got stuck with the task of cleaning paint tools again. The next thing on the agenda is getting the rest of the walls and ceilings primed. But first we have to address the elephant in the room, otherwise known as the fireplace. I've been trying to figure out the best way to address this gap all the way around the fireplace face where the drywall meets the brick. But no worries, I found a great solution that turned out awesome. You'll have to wait till the next video to find out what we did. For now, I'll mask it off so I don't get primer and paint all over it. Prime time. It's a beautiful day. The grass isn't growing yet, but the weeds are. And the place looks great all primed out. Check it out. I'm pretty excited to get painting, but as I mentioned earlier, I like to pass over everything with a sanding sponge just to make the finished product a little smoother and better. Enough of that, you get the idea. Let's paint something. I like to start out with the ceiling. This first coat will be pretty light and pretty much just help to ensure that the second coat covers well. On the closets, I turn the pressure on the paint sprayer way down and put several light coats on the shelving. It has a tendency to sag and run if you apply the paint too heavy. Next, I put a first coat on the jambs, casings, and the shiplap. Then I hit the linen closet, the laundry room ceiling, the entryway ceiling, brick, and exterior door. After allowing a few hours dry time, I put a second coat on the closets, and I'm real happy with the way they turned out. Next up is to put a second and final coat on the ceilings. I like to lay this coat on a little bit heavier with the sprayer, then back roll it with a 3/8 inch nap roller. This just works the paint into the light texture I put on the ceiling and gives it a nice even roller texture that looks great and matches the walls whereas we're cutting and rolling them in. At that point, I just finished up the second coat on the white paint to finish out the day. There it is. Sweet. I was going to wait until tomorrow morning to remove this window masking, but I really wanted to get some light in here and see how it all looks. I'm real happy with it. It's finally coming together, and I'm super excited to get some color on the walls tomorrow. It's a brand new day, the grass is starting to grow, and it's time to get this painting wrapped up so we can move on to all the finishing touches. So let's get into it. After a quick little wipe down sanding, I taped off my lines where the gray wall paint met the white ceiling and or trim. Then I used a 3-inch brush to cut into all the areas that a roller couldn't get into, and rolled out the wall paint with a 1/4-inch nap roller since the walls are smooth instead of the 3/8-inch nap I used on the ceiling since it had a light texture. At that point it was cut and roll and get a first and second coat on this kitchen area. I like it. That gray color really makes that white pop. Check out how nice this line where the shiplap meets the drywall turned out. And with that, I'm handing over the brush and roller to Kenna and Remy to finish up.
I'm painting the sky with colors so bright, setting the world on fire tonight. With every stroke, the universe glows. I'm painting the sky. They used to right. I'm painting the sky. Let you spill your eyes.
Talk about perfect timing. The kitchen cabinets showed up right as we finished up the painting. They look pretty awesome installed, but unfortunately you're going to have to wait till the next video to see for yourself. And as always, thanks for watching.